Today, I'm going to show you how to sharpen and save your images for the web so they look perfect every time. Hey there and welcome to Phlearn. My name is Aaron Nace. You can find me on Phlearn.com where we make learning fun. In today's episode, we're gonna make sure that your images look great on the internet because it's probably happened before when you've edited your images and then you go to upload them and either the colors are wrong or they're not exactly sharp and basically they just don't look how you want them to look. So in today's tutorial, we're gonna show you how to take an edited image in Photoshop and then duplicate that and create multiple size images. This is gonna be perfect for getting those images sharp on the web. We're also gonna make sure you can retain all the nice details of your photos and how to save them so the colors render perfectly on the internet. So here's our image for today. You can actually download this on Phlearn.com. Just follow the link right down below so you can follow along. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is just a little bit of an edit on this, just incredibly simple. I'm gonna grab an adjustment layer. We're gonna go to hue/saturation. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and target my reds. We'll grab our eyedropper and I just wanna grab this red right there and we're gonna increase our saturation a little bit. There we go. I just wanted a little bit more color in the rocks there to kind of draw more attention to this area. All right, and we turn this off and on. We can actually use our layer mask. I'm gonna hit Control or Command I on this layer mask to invert it and then just paint white right over here because this is really the area that I wanna add a little bit more color to. There we go. So now our image is edited, and the big deal with getting your images properly sharpened when they go on the internet is you want to make sure they're actually sharpened at the same size that you're going to put them on the web. You don't want to sharpen your image in full size and then scale it down because you'll be scaling down your sharpening effects as well. So go ahead and edit your image in full size, but when it comes time to save it out, you want to duplicate that image and then make it a little bit smaller, the size that's going to be on the web, and then sharpen that. So we'll show you how to do it. All we have to do is create a new layer on the top. So you could have, 1,000 layers here. It doesn't matter. Just create a new layer on the very top of everything. Go to Image and down to Apply Image. Then you want to make sure here it says Merged and blending is going to be normal and hit OK. What that does is creates a snapshot of your image on a new layer. So you can see I could just grab my Move tool and move it around. It's just a snapshot of my image. So now we want to go ahead and duplicate. So let's go ahead, I'm going to hit Shift F to just get out of full screen view. This is our image here. Again, remember background, added some color, apply image. Now what we're going to do is go to this layer here, this layer that we just created and did the apply image. We'll right click and I'm going to go all the way up to here where it says duplicate layer. So duplicate layer, and it doesn't matter what you name it. Document though, you don't want to duplicate it on the same document. You want to put that on a new document. And let's hit OK. I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. So here is our original image. This is your original image. And at this time, it's a good idea to go ahead and save this out as a PSD. If you haven't already done that, go ahead and save it out as a PSD. There we go. Perfect. So this is a layered file, PSD. You can get back and change your layers, turn them off and on, whatever you want. Now, I never ever recommend resizing your original file. And the reason is, what if you resize it really small and then save it on accident and quit Photoshop? Well, oh my gosh, you've just lost all that information. So you don't want to do that. What you want to do first, duplicate this on a new layer and then duplicate the layer to a new document. See, this is a whole new document and now we're ready to resize. So with our new document, let's go ahead and go to Image and down to Image Size. And we're going to go to Pixels here. Right now, this is 4,900 pixels wide. That's a very large image, much larger than you need on the internet. So we're going to go ahead and resize this. I'm going to make it 800 pixels wide. So let's hit OK there. 800 pixels wide, and you can see this is now 100% zoom. That's 100% of the size of the image. You can resize it to whatever standard you're going to put it on. If it's going to be on a blog, maybe 1200 pixels, Facebook, maybe 1000 pixels. But for this example, we're just going to use 800 pixels. So you can see my image really doesn't look that sharp at this point. Honestly, the easiest way is an Unsharp Mask. So we're going to go to Filter, down to Sharpen, and Unsharp Mask. Now, actually, before we apply this Unsharp Mask, because we're in the Filter dialog, it's a great idea to first make your layer a smart object. You can change the filter at any time if you make it a smart object first. So we're ready to sharpen. We right click on our layer, go to Convert to Smart Object. You can see it's got our little smart object icon right there. And now we go to Filter, down to Sharpen, and over to Unsharp Mask. There we go. And in the Unsharp Mask, you want to choose a smaller radius because you're working with a smaller image. And the amount of sharpening, you can see more sharp and less sharp. So let's go ahead and choose something, these are kind of like, it's your time to kind of like work with and, see where your image really, really shines and all those nice details kind of stand out. That looks pretty good. Let's hit OK. Now, because we made this a smart object first, check this out. The Unsharp Mask loads as a smart filter. So I can actually turn this off and on. There we go. So there's before. We don't have a lot of sharpness. In the after, it sharpens up immediately. Let's just hit F for full screen. Now, if you didn't nail your sharpening the first go round, like if you're not super duper happy with how it turned out, not a big deal. All you have to do is double click right here on Unsharp Mask. So just double click there, and then you can change these settings. See, I could apply even more sharpening if I wanted to, or if I, do that, it looks horrible. So I'm gonna hit cancel. But that's the idea. So make this a smart object. That's going to allow you to use smart filters and then change this Unsharp Mask at any time. So it's sized perfectly for the web. It's sharpened perfectly for the web. And now it's time to go ahead and save it perfectly for the web. And to do this, the best dialog, honestly, go to File, down to Export, and you're going to see Save for Web Legacy if you're using a new version of Photoshop. If you're using an old version, it'll just say Save for Web. And in my opinion, the Save for Web is the best way to save for web in Photoshop. So here we want to choose our settings. JPEG is the most common file format for the web. Unless you have transparency, then you can use PNG, or if you're animating, you can choose a GIF or a GIF. We're going to choose JPEG. Our quality, basically the idea here is you want to just choose your quality based on, like, the lower the quality, the better, until you start to see a difference in your image. And in my experience, a quality of about 80 means I'm not going to see really any change in my image at all, but it's going to lower my file size. So that's really nice. Now, the next thing we want to make sure that's checked here is this box that says Convert to sRGB. That's an important one because web browsers use sRGB color space to read colors. So whatever color space you're editing in Photoshop, that's totally okay, but you want to make sure you convert to sRGB when you're saving it out. And if you've loaded images on the internet that the colors didn't look good when you got them on the internet, there's a good chance that they weren't saved out in sRGB. So this basically solves that problem. So we can see our quality is at 80. We're saving a JPEG in sRGB. We can see the image size here, 800 by 530, and everything looks great. The last thing you can do, if you'd like, is you can hit this little preview button, which loads your image directly onto the web. And you'll be able to see your image dimensions and the size, and basically get an idea of how this image actually looks on the internet. So before trying to upload it to a website, you get a clear picture of exactly how it's going to look on a web browser. So let's just go to the Save button here. We're going to go ahead and figure out where we're going to put this. All right, there we are. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a name, and I'm going to just say 800 px web optimize. That way I know it's going to be perfect for the web, and we're saving it at 800 pixels. So we hit save, and that's all there is to it. So just a quick little recap. When you're done editing your image in Photoshop, go ahead and create a new layer, go to Image, and down to Apply Image. Make sure your settings say Merge and your blending mode is set to Normal. This is going to make a snapshot of everything you see on a new layer. Then you want to right click on that layer and go down to Duplicate, choose Document. You want to create a new document. Now it's time to resize this document. You want to resize it to about the size it's going to go on the internet. Once your image is resized, go ahead and right click on that image layer. Convert it into a smart object and then go to Filter, Sharpen, and Unsharp Mask. You can choose your settings here to make sure it sharpens well for the web, and if you need to at any time, just double click on Unsharp Mask under your smart filters. Now it's time to save. Just go to File, down to Export, and Save for Web. Be sure to choose your file format as a JPEG. Quality of 80 is great. Check Convert to sRGB. And if you need to, you can hit the preview button to see it on the web. And when you're ready, hit that save button. Well, that's all there is to it. Now your images are going to look so good on the internet. I'm so excited for you. If you enjoyed this tutorial, give it a big thumbs up here on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. We'll send you free tutorials every single week. What's not to like about that? I can't think of anything. Thanks again. I'll Phlearn you later. Bye, everyone. Hey there, and welcome to Phlearn. My name is Aaron Nace. What is my name? I almost forgot. Oh, we got a blooper. Bloop, bloop, blooper. Blooper, blooper, blooper.